Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We got game number 2 of this doubleheader. Can this game live up to game number 1 of this doubleheader? The Cleveland Indians make wholesale changes after game number 1. Let's take a look at this lineup for the Indians. Leading off, playing second base, Ken Aspermonte. Batting second, playing right field, Bob Neiman. Batting third, playing left field, Johnny Francona. Batting fourth, playing center field, Chuck Estrogen. Batting fifth, playing first base, is Vic Power. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, Woody Held. Batting seventh, playing third base, is Mike DeLaHose. Batting eighth, doing the catching, is Val Thomas. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is Jim Perry. Let's take a look at the New York Yankees starting lineup. Nothing's changed from game 1 to game 2. Yankees sticking with the lineup they had. Leading off, playing second base, Bobby Richardson. Batting second, playing shortstops, Tony Kubek. Batting third, playing right fields, Roger Maris. Batting fourth, playing center fields, Mickey Mantle. Batting fifth, playing first base, is Bill Skowron. Batting sixth, playing left fields, Johnny Blanchard. Batting seventh and doing the catchings, Elston Howard. Batting eighth, playing third base, is Clint Boyer. And the only difference, the man on the mound, batting ninth, Bud Daly. Let's get down here to the Yankee Stadium for game number 2 and get this thing started, folks. And like I said, Bud Daly's on the mound for the Yankees, making his 4th team start. He's got a 4.06 ERA. He's got a 7-3 record. He's got 1 save on the year also. And his first batter he'll be facing is Ken Astromonte, batting 244, no home runs and 6 RBIs and limited playing time for the Tribe. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Tony Kubek. Tony's up with it. He's going to fire over the first to Skowron for out number 1. And that'll bring up Bob Neiman. And Bob's batting 261 in limited time. No home runs and 2 RBIs for the Tribe. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. 2 ground balls, 2 outs here in the top of the first. And that'll bring up John Francona. He's having a good series against the Yankees, batting 245, 10 home runs, 59 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Daly's first strikeout, and the Tribe goes down in order. We make our way to the bottom of the first. Indians nothing. Richardson, Kubek, and Roger Maris, the hero of game number 1, up third. You got Jim Perry making his 32nd start of the year. He's got a 4.31 ERA. He's got a 9-18 record, 6 complete games. First batter he'll face is Bobby Richardson. Bobby batting 257, 3 home runs, 57 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. DeLaHose is up with it. He had a heck of a fielding game in game number 1. Starts out game number 2 nice. Throws over the power, playing first for out number 1. Here comes Tony Kubek batting 276, 6 home runs, 54 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Perry 2 up and 2 down. Here comes Roger Maris. If you watch game 1, the conquering hero, batting 269, 64 home runs, 126 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Ken at second. 1, 2, 3 goes the Yanks. We make our way to the top of the second. Chuck, Power, and Held due up here. Chucky batting 234 on the year, 5 home runs, 22 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Boyer's up with it. Throws over the first for out number 1. That'll bring up the power man, Vic Power. Batting 224, 1 home run, 51 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Bobby Richardson. And he's got it with no problem. 2 ground balls, 2 outs here in the second. Brings up Woody Held, batting .240, 13 home runs, 50 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field, and chasing after it's Boyer makes a nice running catch, robs Held of a base hit. Boyer had a nice game in game number 1. Looks like he's ready for action in 2. 1, 2, 3 goes the Tribe. Bottom of the second, Mantle, Scourin, and Blanchard. Mick batting .311, 47 home runs, 138 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. Mick trots on down the first base runner for the Yankees. That brings up Bill the Moose Scourin, batting .272, 38 home runs, 132 RBIs. Triple header today is right, Big Clue. Yep. Can Moose drive in Mick and get the Yankees on the board early here in game number 2? And that's going to be a base on balls for Moose. All of a sudden, Perry here in the second's gotten wild. Walked the first 2 batters. And brings up Johnny Blanchard. Johnny starting to hit the ball, folks. He was batting around .230. He's got that average up to .257 with 20 home runs, 50 RBIs. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. That's going to score Mick, and the Yankees get in on board early. We'll take a 1-0 lead. Scourin with his speed, he'll hold it second. That brings up Elston Howard. The Tribe's going to be looking for a ground ball. Ain't much speed at all here. Scourin at second, Blanchard at first, and Howard at the plate. And Elston Howard's helping himself one well of a season, batting .340, 15 home runs, 67 RBIs. Can Howard, it'll take a heck of a hit to get Scourin in from second on a single. He'll need to probably get a double. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield fly rule, but Held makes it official, makes the catch for out number 1. Still got runners on first and second for Clint Boyer. Boyer batting .223. He's been flashing the leather here, though, lately. Can he get the job done at the plate, though? And he does, folks. He squares this one up. Clint Boyer. He drives that ball in the right field. That's going, wraps around that 296 pole. Clint Boyer with a 3-run homer, folks. And it's quickly 4-0. What a difference a game makes. 4-0 New York on Boyer's 11th home run of the season, folks. Base is empty now for Bud Daley. Only batting .077. He's 2 for 26 on the year. Does have 2 RBIs. Let's see what Bud can do here against Mr. Perry. And that's going to be a ball 1 to Daley. 1-0 pitch. And that's going to be fly ball out the left field. Tito's got it for out number 2. We're back to the top of the order, and Bobby Richardson. I'll take a drink here. Bobby grounded out the third his first time up. Can Bobby get on base? Keep this second inning going. And yes, he can. He puts a lick on that ball out to center field. And that's going to drop in front of Chuck for an easy base hit. So there's Bobby standing down at first with 2 outs for Tony Kubek. Tony struck out his first time up against Jim. Here's the pitch to Tone, and that's going to be a base on balls. And that's going to get that bullpen up now in a hurry. Here comes the big boys up. 2 outs, 4 runs already in. They go out to talk to Perry. Who are they going to get up is the question. Probably get Mr. Hawkins up, the Hawk. Here's Maris, 0 for 1, grounded out to second. His first time up, like I say, the hero in game number 1. Can he add to this 4-0 lead, folks? And that ball is high, that ball is far. 65th home run of the year. Can Roger actually get to that big 7-0 mark, folks? And it's 7-0. Home run, 65 RBIs, 127, 8, and 9 for Roger Maris. Mick greets him at the plate, shakes his hand, and said it was a slider that slid right into the bat. And this is a difference one game makes, folks. Go back and watch game number 1. You didn't see this coming. Sure. Here comes the Mick now. He's 0 for 0. Walked his first time up. Came around the score in this second inning. This is the 10th batter to come to the plate, folks. Mick started this inning off with a walk. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. And mercifully, Ken makes the catch down at second. And the inning comes to an end. But the Yankees score 7. A 3-run homer by Boyer. A 3-run homer by Maris. And it is out of hand early. We got DeLaHose, Thomas, and probably a pitch hitter for Perry. That's going to be it for Jim today, I think. Mike is batting .262 on the year with no home runs, 14 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Tony Kubek. He fires over the first for out number 1. And that brings up Val Thomas. And Val, only his 16th game, batting .113 on the year. He does have a home run and an RBI. Here's the pitch to Val. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. The first hit for the Tribe is a guy hitting a .118, but make them earn their way on. I'm not faulting Bud Daly for that. And they will pitch hit for Perry since they got a runner aboard and only 1 out. So Perry only goes 2 innings today, folks. See who they're going to bring up against the lefty. And they're going to bring up Johnny Temple. Johnny not playing today. He played in game number 1. He's going to pitch hit here. They need base runners, not power right now. See if Johnny can keep this hit parade going against Bud. And there's Johnny. Johnny's batting .267 on the year, 4 home runs, 41 RBIs. Here's the pitch from Bud Daly. And that's what the doctor ordered, folks. That's a ground ball down the short. Taylor-made double play. Kubek up with it. Fires over to Richardson, over to Scowen. That's your inning killing double play, folks. And Hawkins is going to come in the game and pitch. Hopefully he can eat up some innings for the Tribe. I believe that's who they're going to go with. We'll check and make sure he's not tired or anything before we officially announce him. You know what? We're not going to go with Hawkins. We'll go with Joe. Say it ain't so, Joe. Joe Schaefer is going to come in and try to eat some innings up for the Tribe. No, we'll go with Joe. Say it ain't so, Joe, instead of the Hawk. He'll be facing Scourin, Blanchard, and Howard here in the bottom of the 3rd, down by 7. His job is to keep it there. Let's see what happens. Scourin walked and came around to score on the Boyer 3-run homer. And that ball's blasted down the right field line. It looks like it don't matter who's pitching. The Yankees, all of a sudden, after that first game, seems to be on a roll here. Scourin with a leadoff double. He's standing down at second with nobody out for Johnny Blanchard. Blanchard singled and drove in a run in the 2nd inning. Can he keep up this hit parade here today, folks? And he sure can. That's going to be a single in the center field. And Scourin's going to stop at 3rd. Over the station here up by 7. 1st and 3rd. nobody out. And the Tribe, they're playing back, folks. It's 7-0. They need some outs here. Howard's 0 for 1, popped up the hell his first time up. And that's what they was looking for, a ground ball. Can they turn two? That ball's hit down the hill that short. Not much speed on these pads, folks, but that's a slow roller. He fires over the Aspermont over the power, but that was too slow of a roller. The run of score, Howard will be down at first with 1 out. And it is 8-0 New York. It brings up Clint Boyer with a 3-run homer to get this game started score-wise. That was his 11th home run, his 52nd RBIs of the year. Can Boyer do it again, folks? And that's a deep fly ball out the left field. Francona going back at the track and not quite deep enough. Boyer thought he had number 2, folks. But that'll be 2 outs now, and Bud Daly's up. And Daly flew out the left field his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Delahose. And the Yankees get 1 on the board, and that's it, folks. When we go to the top of the 4th, it's 8-0. We're back to the top of the order, and Aspermonte, Neiman, and Francona. Ken grounded out the shortest first time up. Here's the pitch to Ken, and that's going to be a base hit in the center field. Mick can't get to it. He takes it on the short hop. So Ken's aboard here. That brings up Bob Neiman with a runner down at first and nobody out. He grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be another single in the right field. And Ken's going to motor on down the third. And Indians are making some noise here in the 4th, folks. First and third, and nobody out. Yankees definitely playing back for the double play with an 8-run lead. Francona's up, struck out his first time up. And that's what the doctor ordered, folks. Yankees will take out. It's a ground ball down to Bobby Richardson, over to Quebec, over the Scouring. Ken will score, make it 8-1, but now there's 2 outs and nobody on. For old Chucky boy, he grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be another base hit in the center field. Ken Daly not looking as sharp as he was the first 3 innings, folks. Good thing for that double play ball. Hey, Jamie. Roger, he's already hit a 3-run homer today, Jamie, for his 65th home run. I believe it was 65th. He's 5 home runs away from 70. Check for you here. Yep, 65th. Like I say, 5 away from 70. The chase is on. Here comes Vic Power now. 2 outs, a runner down at first. Vic grounded out the Richardson his first time up. And that's going to be a runner called off first. What was Chuck thinking, folks? Down by 7 runs and get picked off. This is not Cleveland's game, that's for sure. So that'll end the inning. The Indians score 1, make it 8-1. We go to the bottom of the 4th, the top of the order due up. Richardson, Quebec, and Maris. Bobby 1 for 2 today. Single when he came around the score on the Maris home run. And that's going to be a fly ball out the center field. That'll be out number 1. And now we got Mr. Quebec up. And Tony's 0 for 1. He walked and he came around to score on the Maris home run. And that's going to be another fly ball out the center. 2 fly balls to center, 2 outs. And here comes the man, season home run king, Roger Maris, batting .270 on the year, folks, with those 65 home runs, 129 RBIs. Can he get number 66 in this game? And they don't want to see that. That's a foul ball. They thought they had him struck out. He fouls it off. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Roger. And that's a base hit in the center field. Roger fought that nice pitch off, gets a hit. Roger down at first for the Mick. Can the Mick get number 48, folks? Mick's setting at 47 with 138 RBIs. He walked in that second inning and then popped up. Here's the pitch to Mick. And that's going to be a base on balls. They don't want nothing to do with Mano. Mano stampers on down the first, Maris down the second. And here's the Moose. First and second, 2 outs for the Moose. He's 1 for 1, walked and doubled his last time up and came around to score both times. And that's going to be a ground ball down the... No, it's not. He's got the W. He just walked the bases loaded, folks. Saying ain't so. Joe walks the bases loaded for Blanchard. Can Johnny keep up this good hitting performance he's been showing, folks? 2 for 2 today. He's got that batting average up to 264. Can he blast another one here today? And that's going to be a ground ball down the short, and Held throws that ball in the next year, folks. That's a 2-base error. Nothing's going right for these Indians. Scouring. Mickey and Maris will score. Scouring or end up down the third, and Blanchard down the second. So we got second and third now with 2 outs, and it's 10-1, buddy. Sure. Way. Howard's up now. He's 0 for 2. He does have an RBI on the game. That batting average just dipped below 340. Can he get a hit here and get it back over the 340 mark, folks? And yes, he can, because Avery's kind of things coming up roses for the Yankees. That ball will be hit in the right field, and that'll score 2 with 2 outs. And Howard standing down at first. Still can't get this elusive third out. It's 12. The one, good buddy. Here comes Boyer up. Clint 1 for 2 with that 3-run homer. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Francona. That'll end the inning. And the Yankees score 4 more and lead this game 12-1. We go to the top of the 5th. Power, Held, and De La Hoz due up here against Bud Daly. Bud looking at Power batting .223 on the year. Not a good year for Power. He grounded out the second his first time up. And as soon as I said that, he gets a base hit in the center field. He'll stop at first, being down by 11. And that'll bring up Woody Held. Woody, he popped up the third his first time up. Boyer robbed him of a base hit. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Blanchard's got it. That'll be out number 2. Out number 1, rather. That brings up De La Hoz. Let's see what Mike can do here. He grounded out the short his first time up. And that's going to be popped up behind home plate. Howard's got room back there. And that'll be out number 2. That brings up Vale Thomas. He's got one of the hits today. He's 1 for 1. Here's the pitch to Thomas. And that's going to be a pop-up in fair territory near the bag at third. Boyer makes the catch. And Indians leave 1-on. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Daly, Richardson, and Quebec. Joe's due to lead off the 6th inning. They're going to try to get another inning out of him. They're not trying to burn this bullpen up in a 12-1 game. Bud's 0 for 2 today. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. De La Hoz fires over the power and gets Daly easy for 1 out. Back to the top of the order, and Bobby Richardson. He singled and came around to score in the second. And that's going to be a nice ground ball down the short. Woody up with it. Quick 2 outs here in the 5th. It's up to Tony Kubek to keep this inning alive for the Yanks. Tony's 0 for 2 with a walk. And that's going to be 0 for 3 as he swings and misses that one. Strike 3. Yankees go down in order. And we go to the top of the 6th. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Joe. And back to the top of the order for the Tribe. And they're going to send up Jimmy Pearsall to pitch hit. Try to get on base, down by 11. Make the game a little respectable. They're trying to. And where's Jimmy? There's Jimmy. Pearsall's batting .304 in the year, 3 home runs, 31 RBIs. And that's a fly ball out to Mick. That's a can of corn for out number 1 here in the 6th. We're back to the top of the order and Ken Aspermonte. And Ken is 0 for 2, 1 for 2 rather. He singled his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Moose. He grabs it, calls off Bud, steps on the base for out number 2. And it's all up to Neiman now to keep this 6th inning going. And Bob's 1 for 2, singled his last time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. Don't want to see that. That's the first walk given up by Daley, though. It's been making these Indians earn their way on. That's a good thing. Brings up Tito. He is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded into a double play. And that's going to be a nice ground ball down to Bobby. He'll fire over to first. That'll end the inning, folks. Again, the Tribe leave 1 on. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Let's see who's going to come out. I think it's going to be Hawkins this time. The Hawk is going to come out and pitch. Yeah. Or do they bring in a lefty? They might bring. Let's look here. You got Maris, Mantle, and then Scower. You're going to bring a lefty in the game. It might be now. Might be now. But Bob just pitched in game 1, didn't he? No, Bob didn't pitch in game 1. So Bob Allen's going to come out here and pitch. I'm going to bring the lefty in. Talk myself into bringing the lefty in. If you're going to bring the lefty in, now's the time to do it. So Bob Allen comes in his 41st appearance with a 6.98 ERA, 1-1 on the year with 3 saves. Here's Roger, 2 for 3 with a 3-run homer, folks. Singled his last time up. And that's going to be popped up behind home plate. That's not a home run in a phone booth. That'll be out number 1 here in the 6th. That brings up the mighty Mick. Mickey's 0 for 1, walked twice, scored twice. Here's the pitch to Mick. And that's going to be a single in the right field. And Neiman misplays that one. And Mick puts on the afterburners. He's going to end up down at second with an E9. So you got a runner in scoring position with 1 out for the Moose. And he's 1 for 1 today with 2 walks. Here's the Moose. He's doubled. Can he drive in Mick? A single will get Mick in. And that's going to be another error on the outfielders, folks. And it's a Tito Francona. They just are looking miserable out there. And Mick's going to score on that error. Scouring with his speed's going to stop at first. So there's still one out, a runner at first, and it's 13-1. These Indians look like they just given up in this game, folks. Here comes Blanchard, 2 for 3 today, batting .263. Can he get another base hit, folks? And no, that is what the Indians was looking for. A ground ball down the held over the Ken, over the power, 6-4-3 double play. That'll end the inning. But the Yankees tack on another. We go to the 7th inning. It is 13-1 New York. Chuck, power and hell do up here. Chuck is 1 for 1, one of the few hits in the game. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Mick. Mick's got that with no problem for out number 1. Here comes Vic Power. And Vic is 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. And that's going to be another base hit. Mick can't come in and get this one, playing a little deeper. And Power's on at first with 1 out. That brings up Woody Held. And Woody is 0 for 2, popped up and flown out. And he gets a hold of this one off of Bud. And that ball's driven into the gap in right field. That's going to score Vic from first. And it is now 13-2. Woody down at second. I didn't score Vic. I got to go back and fix that. Go back and fix that. Sorry about that. Forgot to score Power from first. So that'll bring up DeLaHoe now with Woody down at second and 1 out. And Woody's 0 for 2. And not anymore. Yes, he is going to be out. That's a nice play down at first by Scouring. Playing close to the line, robs DeLaHoe of a base hit. Woody will get down the third, though, with 2 outs. That brings up Val Thomas. Val is 1 for 2 today. And that's going to be a ground ball down the down the short. He'll fire across the diamond. And that'll end the inning, folks. The Tribe score 1. We go to the 7th inning. It's 7th inning stretch. It's 13-2. Howard, Boyer, and Daley do up here. Howard's 1 for 3 with a 3-run double. Well, no, I'm sorry. He had a fielder's choice and a 2-run double. And that's going to be a base hit for Howard. He goes the other way. Drives that ball in the right field. Neiman gets over. Howard's not going nowhere with a 13-2 lead. Here comes the man that started this whole 13-run blast out with a 3-run homer, Clint Boyer. And that's going to be a base on balls. Boyer trots on down the first, Howard down the second. And they're just going to let Bud swing away with a 13-2 lead. He's 0 for 3, flown out and grounded out the third twice. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Francona's got it for out number 1 rather. And that'll bring up Mr. Richardson. I'm sorry, go back. I looked at that wrong. That was a 61. That's going to be a double play ball. Let's get it right, yeah. I looked at that wrong. So that's a 24, not a 30. So that's a double play. Down the short. Down the second, rather. So that's a 6. That's a 4-6-3 double play. Howard will get down the third with 2 outs now. Glad I re-looked at that roll. So now you got Bobby Richardson up with 2 outs and Howard down at third. Bobby's 1 for 4 here today. Can he drive in Howard? And no, that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. Ken's got it. And the Yankees will strand one. We go to the top of the 8th. We got Allen. Well, we'll have a pitch hitter for Allen. And then we got the top of the order, and Astromonte and Neiman due up. See who's going to pitch hit here. And I think Hal Jones is going to come off the bench to pitch hit. Mr. Jones. There's Mr. Jones. Nobody on. No outs here. This is Hal Jones' first plate appearance for the Tribe against Bud Daley. And he blasts that in the center field. He's got himself a pitch hit single, folks. Welcome to 1961, Mr. Jones, with a base hit here today in Yankee Stadium. They get the ball for him. That brings up Ken Astromonte. He's 1 for 3 today. You got Jones down at first, nobody out. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Only the second strikeout of the game for Daley. He's just been putting the ball in the spots and making them hit them where the Yankees are. That brings up Bob Neiman, 1 for 2 with a walk his last time up. And that's going to be a double play ground ball down the short. Q back up with it over the Richardson, over to Schuyler. And that ends the 8th, folks. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Quebec, Maris, and Mann will do up. And Tony's 0 for 3 today. And that's going to be oh, we need to get a pitcher in the game, don't we? Let's see here. See who we're going to bring in. This time it will be Hawkins. I keep saying it, and we're going to actually do it this time. The Hawk is coming in this time. I'm not talking myself out of it. I've talked myself out of it twice. Not this time, folks. The Hawk's coming in. The pitch to 8th. And let's see with the Hawk in there if that's going to be a base hit or not. And yes, that will be a base hit for Quebec off the Hawk. Hawk, this is his 21st appearance. He's got a 4.81 ERA, 5-13 record with 1 save. And Tony greets him with a single in the center. And that brings up Roger. Roger's already hit a 3-run homer today, folks. He's 2 for 4. Here's the pitch to Maris. And that ball is high. That ball is far. 66 on the year, folks. That ball is hit the other way in the left field. And it is 15-2. Good buddy. Oh, Roger Maris is on fire after hitting number 61, folks. That brings up Mick. He's 1 for 2, 2 walks, came around the score 3 times. Can Mick go back-to-back with Roger? And no, that's going to be base on balls. Hawkins wasn't going to be giving up back-to-back home runs to the M&M boys. That brings up the Moose. The Moose is 1 for 2 with 2 walks, also in a double, and he scored 3 times. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short, I believe. Yep, down the short. Woody up with it, over to Ken, over to Mantle. That's a double play ball. 2 outs now for Blanchard. And this will be Johnny's probably last plate appearance. We'll probably put in Reed as a defensive replacement. He's 2 for 4. And not anymore, folks. He's 3 for 5. That ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is going. Number 21 on the year for Johnny Blanchard. And he's probably his last plate appearance of the game. Like I say, we're going to probably bring in Jack Reed as a defensive replacement for him in the top of the ninth. Do that now so I don't forget. Take Blanchard out and bring in Reed. Alrighty, now we got Howard up with 2 outs. Howard having a great game, 2 for 4. Here's the pitch to Elston, and that's going to be a ball 1. Elston, here's a 1-0 pitch, and that's going to be hit down the short. Held's got it over the first, but the Yankees score 3 more, folks, and it's 16-2. We go to the top of the ninth. Bud Daley looking to get a complete game here. And like I say, we're going to make a defensive replacement for Johnny Blanchard and bring in Jack Reed to play left field. Where's Mr. Reed? Well, first we got to go to the bench. It would help instead of looking at the bullpen, wouldn't it? And there's Jack. He's going to come in and bat in the 6th hole and play left field for Blanchard. All right, Daley's going to be facing the heart of the lineup. Frank Cone, Chuck, and Power. Can Daley get the complete game here, folks? Tito's 0 for 3 today. And not anymore. That's a base hit in the right field. Maris gets over there quickly. Tito's not going nowhere with the leadoff single. Here comes Chuck. See if Chuck can do something here. Down by 14. And he's 1 for 3 today. And that's going to be hit down the third. And that's going to be a round the horn double play. 6-4-3 double play. And the Indians are down to their last out here in Vic Power, folks. Vic is 2 for 3. He's one of the few Indians having a decent game at the plate. And that's a ground ball down to Quebec. He fields it cleanly, fires over the first, and mercifully for the Indians, this game is over. What a difference a game makes, folks. A nail biter in the first game and nothing, no doubt about her in the second. Can't even say a day makes, a few hours. Maybe only a half an hour. Let's take a look at this box score. The Yankees turned 4 double plays, folks. Indians 2 runs on 9 hits and 3 errors. The Yankees 16 runs on 13 hits and no errors. Vic Power, like I say, was about the only Indian that had a decent game. And Woody held with the RBI. He was 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, but they only left 3 men on base, folks. Like I said, Bud Daley pitched a great game. And you had Roger Maris, 3 for 5, 5 RBIs, 2 home runs. I tell you, he is looking at the Yankees, 7 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And they only left 3 men on base, folks. They was just driving the ball in this second game. Jim Perry only goes 2 innings, picks up his 19th loss, goes to 9-19, 4 hits, 7 runs, 3 walks. struck out 1, and gave up 2 home runs to Roger Maris. Ain't that crazy? Old Joe comes in, pitches 3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, only one of them earned though. Walked 2 and struck out 1. Mr. Allen, 2 hits on 2 innings, 1 run. It was unearned. Walked 1. And the Hawk comes in, 3 hits, 3 runs, and walked 1. Gave up 2 home runs. Sure, wee, what a game. Alrighty, folks, let's do some fast play here. You got the Senators traveling up the 95, taking on Baltimore. Orioles definitely got to win here, folks. Their magic number's like 6 or so, and they don't. The Senators beat the Orioles. 5 runs on 9 hits and an error. The Orioles 1 run on 9 hits and 2 errors. Then you got the Tigers taking on Boston in Beantown. See what happens here. Like I say, Tigers have been beating up on the Red Sox. And they continue to. 8 runs on 15 hits and no errors. The Red Sox 1 run on 5 hits and an error. Norm Cash 2 for 5 with a home run and 3 RBIs. And the final 2 games in the American League is a doubleheader between the Twins and the A's in KC. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, you also got the White Sox game. Sorry about that. And A's win the first one in this doubleheader. The Twins 3 runs on 8 hits and an error. The A's 5 runs on 13 hits and an error. Are the A's going to sweep this doubleheader, folks, against the Twins? Yes, they do. See what the Stars for. The Twins 4 errors. 3 runs on 10 hits and 4 errors for the Twins. The A's 10 runs, 14 hits and no errors. In the last game in the American Leagues, the White Sox traveling out to LA to take on the Angels. And the Angels win a close one. White Sox 3 runs on 8 hits and an error. Angels 4 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. Take a look at the standings now after September 10th in the leaderboard. The Yankees now 11.5 games up on the Tigers. Tigers are on a 6-game winning streak trying to keep pace. Yankees 5 wins. The Orioles just broke their 6-game winning streak. They're 13.5 games back. The White Sox are now 19.5 games back, and I believe they are now officially eliminated. So it's a 3-horse race. Let's take a look here. Yeah, the White Sox have been eliminated, and the Orioles, what's the magic number for the poor Orioles here? Orioles' magic number is 3, folks. And Tigers, magic number for the Tigers is 7. Howard Johnson and Norm Cash tied for the batting crown with 341 average right now. Roger Maris with his 66 home runs leading the American League in the majors. Mick with his 138 RBIs leading the American League in the majors. Jim Bunning with his 2.18 ERA leading the American League in the major leagues with ERA. You got Bunning and Ford both with 21 wins. Luis Aurora with 36 saves. Roger leading the MVP voting. And Bill Stafford still leading in the Cy Young race, folks. I want to thank Jamie for stopping in. Big Clue. Until next time, you all have a great evening and take care.